It is not a repair, it is a remanufacturing of the tractor hydraulic cylinder that was already severely deformed. After being processed by the elbow rod, the master of BATI can manufacture the same spare parts. Such operation is simply unbelievable. The tractor owner in Peshawar in front of him pulled too much because the bucket was overloaded, which caused the cylinder to be deformed. In order to better observe the internal damage, the master first had to completely disassemble it. Not only was the piston rod bent, but the internal piston was also cracked and scrapped. Obviously, there was no need to repair it. In order to restore the original strength of the piston rod, the master first disassembled it completely. It is planned to use the elbow rod to reproduce the processing. In this way, the problem of metal fatigue will be avoided after the repair. Considering that the appearance of the elbow rod is very different, the surface of the rod must be carefully cut under the premise of matching the color of the steel head. As for the appearance of the piston, it is necessary to compare the diameter of the piston circle and process the head to embed the convex. Only in this way can the round field piston field be reproduced one-to-one. After the basic surface data meets the standard, it needs to be fixed by nuts. The surface of the step protrusion must be processed with threads to ensure that the length of the protrusion can completely penetrate the piston. The pitch of the two cannot have the slightest deviation. After marking the overall length of the piston, the surface needs to be polished by an angle die machine. This is because the piston has been in friction with the oil seal for a long time. It cannot affect the normal use of the oil seal. The surface must be smooth and unprotected to avoid the problem of hydraulic oil leakage in the future. At this time, the excess parts of the two ends of the shaft rod, the grinder is completely cut off and separated. The other section has a fixed top plug. The master directly welded one with a steel plate. Although the thickness of the steel plate is not as good as the original factory, the strength is completely sufficient to make the newly manufactured top plug meet the use requirements. The master not only needs to drill a hole in the center of the axis, but also needs to drill a normal bolt-fixing hole on the side so that the piston can be connected to the bucket. Then compare the center hole with the piston. In this way, the top plug can be welded in the center position, the strength of the body, so the remade piston rod is qualified. If the piston rod can be retracted and driven normally, it is inseparable from the operation of the internal piston. Master plans to create a new one again. Even the blanks are made of the same material. Although their maintenance conditions are very limited, the Pakistani people never treat them perfunctorily. Every maintenance is 12 points rigorous. This is their work attitude. After processing the blank into the basic size, it is necessary to drill holes according to the protruding appearance on the piston rod. The axis is also the only way to connect with the piston rod. Obviously, the drill bit with the number cannot reach the standard hole boundary. In order to make the piston rod fit tightly, the wall must be carefully modified with a tang knife. The hole mirror and smoothness can reach the highest standard. After the master uses the external mirror micrometer to measure, they will replace their high-end groove cutter and cut a groove on the side to ensure that the piston can install the hydraulic main oil seal. With the master's careful cutting, the groove width is just enough. Of course, cutting will definitely leave hair. The surface of the grid needs to be sanded and polished to be smooth to avoid excessive wear of the oil seal due to long-term use. After the two damaged parts are processed, in order to restore the cylinder to its best condition, the master also needs to clean the hydraulic oil of the pad. The hydraulic oil is also the key to the use of the cylinder. Then the newly built parts can be reassembled together. The assembly process of this small hydraulic cylinder is relatively simple. It is necessary to ensure that the nut is completely locked with the piston. There will be no other problems. In order to give the owner a brand new experience, the master also repainted the surface. After the new completion, the compressed air was used for testing. If the color sense can be stretched normally, then the hydraulic cylinder is repaired. What do you think of the skills of the Pakistani master?